Welcome students for the next class of English literature. Today we will be dealing with our next poem, The Bangle Sellers. It is written by Sarojini Naidu. We all are very well aware of Sarojini Naidu's poem. As in the middle school, you have already done The Bazaars of Hyderabad written by her. Before we start the poem, let me introduce you to Sarojini Naidu. Sarojini Naidu was one of the renowned Indian poets who used to write in English, though her poetry was bitterly criticized by modern poets and critics. In the poems, she has used a lot of color, imagery, and lyrical quality of her poetries. Her poetry is marked by Indian sensibility, Indian themes and subjects, lyricism, and felicity of phrases. Most of her poetry uses traditional literary devices, notably similes, metaphors, rhymes, etc. She had deep interest in politics and she was even involved in freedom struggle along with Gandhiji. After independence, she became the first governor of the UP state. She passed away in 1949. She was also known as the Nightingale of India and she was given a title as Bharatiya Kokila. Now let me introduce you to the poem The Bangle Sellers. It is one of her very well-known poems. It is included in the collection of poems called The Bird of Time. It focuses our attention on social, religious, and symbolic value of bangles in Indian culture. No Indian widow is supposed to wear bangles. You all are very well aware with this. The wearing of bangles is suggestive of happiness, peace, and prosperity. The newlyweds wear bangles of different hues, from those worn by unmarried girls to the married and a middle-aged woman. The Bangle Seller is a fine example of a musical verse. The poem is a song of the men who sell glass bangles at the village fairs and in temple towns. We'll see through the different paragraphs how the colors, the hues, and the different variety of bangles play different role in human beings' life and how they leave an impact with the symbolisms. Before I start, I'll give you a short synopsis or short summary of the poem. In the first paragraph, we'll see some bangle sellers who are taking the loads of bangle to the temple fair. They are inquisitive, they are excited because that's the place where the bangles are going to be sold. Bangle sellers are we who bear our shining loads to the temple fair, who will buy these delicate, bright, rainbow-tinted circles of light, lustrous tokens of radiant lives for happy daughters and happy wives. In the first stanza, it makes that a group of bangle sellers are on their way to the temple fair so that they can sell those bangles and make some money out of it and earn their livelihood. Though they carry these loads of bangles on their head in a basket or in the stick, they are loads of bangles, but they are happy to carry them. They are not unhappy and they are not cribbing at all. They do not have the grudge of carrying heavy load on themselves. The load of bangles to them are like shining loads, which means which refers to the bangles which are made of glass and which shines in the sunshine. It means that it is meant for the happy daughters and wives. The multicolored bangles are beautifully described as rainbow tinted. They are circle of light. They represent the vibrancy, the beauty, and the colorfulness of the happy life. The word happy is repeated in the poem twice. Here, the poet emphasizes the human element of the product. The daughters who are expected to be married soon wear the bangles to express their happy longings. The wives who wear bangles express their happiness and contentment in the marital bliss. Some are meet for maiden's wrist, silver and blue as mountain mist. Some are flushed like the buds that dream on the tranquil brow of a woodland stream. Some are aglow with bloom that lives to the limpid glory of newborn leaves. In the second stanza, we see that their bangles which are described, some are made of various colors to suit the maiden's wrist. That is, to the girls, those who are not married. They are still maiden. For their hands, these bangles are made. And these colors, which represent these maiden girls' wrist, are silvery, blue, as misty as mountain mist. They are meant for the girls who has countless longing for their married lives. Some are pink as buds that bloom on a calm surface of a forest stream. Some of these bangles are shining green, whose freshness is close to the vivid beauty of the newborn and tender leaves. All these kinds of bangles are suitable for unmarried girls. Their colors express their tender longings. Some are like fields of sunlit corn, meet for the bride on her bridal morn. Some like the flame of a marriage fire, or rich with the hue of her heart's desire. Tinkling, luminous, tender and clear, like her bridal laughter and bridal tear. In the third stanza, the poet emphasizes that the yellow bangles, which look like cornfields, they are suitable for the bride on her marriage morning. Some of these bangles are fiery red bangles, like the flame of a marriage fire. They are expressive of the passion in her heart. They create a light ringing sound as the bride walks towards the marriage ceremony. They are shining and delicate as laughter of the bride. Now they are tinkling, they are bright, they are luminous, they are tender, you can hear them. It's all associated with happiness of a new and married life. Like her bridal laughter and like her bridal tear. These lines are very important. Like the bridal laughter, because she is happy for getting married, having her own family, moving to a new house. Whereas on the other hand, she is full of bridal tear. Here she's mourning. She feels a separation from her parents, for she has to leave her house in which she has stayed for all her life. This is a very peculiar stage because there's a life full of expectations and there's life full of nervousness. The bride is happy at her marriage, but she is also sorrowful at the thought of a separation from her parents. She is as beautiful and as tender as her bangles. Some are purple and gold-flecked grey, for she who has journeyed through life midway, whose hands have cherished, whose love has blessed, and cradled fair sons on her faithful breast, and serves her household in fruitful pride, and worships the gods at her husband's side. In the fourth stanza, the poet describes the bangles which are meant for the housewives or the mothers who have given birth to their children. Now these bangles are purple and grey and are some gold-flecked grey. All these bangles are meant for a middle-aged woman whose hands have cared, loved, blessed and brought up her fair sons, and who has proudly served her family and has the honor of sitting by her husband's side at religious ceremonies. With this, we come to the end of our first session. We'll continue with the theme, with the poetical devices in the next class. Thank you.